Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are out there in the world. It is Saturday, June 13th, 2026. I am your host, the DJ Atomica. This bodes well. And today we are back with the Song of Sunlight. We've been playing this game for probably more than a month now. And we have had a grand old time. It's a very interesting mystery story. We play as Aram, a young man in a small settlement on an island that discovers that there is a giant ancient megastructure buried beneath his town that nobody really knows about except him, and which occasionally spits out a ravenous skeleton machine to try and kill people. We have been exploring the depths of this megastructure called the Well, and we've made a number of interesting discoveries. Some of them we made prior to last week, like, for example, there used to be people living down here in the Well, and that because of a famine, they left and tried to find better tidings elsewhere. What we learned last week. Actually, we learned a number of interesting things last week. We learned, one, that not all of the machines are ravenous killers. We've learned that some of them are scouts. We met a scout. The scout can talk to us, and did, and wants to trade various items. So we're now engaging with the machines on economic terms, which is fascinating. We also learned that the population of people that live down here in the Well did not all pack up and leave. The majority of them seem to have, because the place is largely abandoned, but the scout machine told us that deeper below there is a population of humans living down in the further depths of the Well. So that's become our new mission, is to go down there and see what's become of that people. Another thing we learned up on the surface that was potentially less consequential, but I'm willing to bet might be more important than we think, is that the society on the surface, which we come from, has not always been organized the way that it is currently. It used to have a king, but that king was overthrown a long time ago. Exactly how this plays into everything else, I'm not sure. But I'm very interested to see where it goes from here. So without further ado, let's dive right back in. I have gradually been getting more accustomed to the combat system, though I find myself still having to pause now and again to... or not pause, but to shut up from time to time to focus on the combat. Now, I forget exactly where I am right now. I can only see a portion of the map at any given time. Right, this is the scout. The scout ancestor. You've returned. Yeah. Why are you still here? I told you. I have work to do. I won't move from this spot until I've finished. And how long will that be? I don't know. I'll make a decision in another few decades, perhaps. That's a long time. Alright, so they're hanging around for a while. We've also got a number of ancestor technology-based devices that are available for barter here. And some more conventional fare. Powders and wetting stones and bandages. I think we had our eye on a couple of these. Increases vitality by 2. I mean, that's always going to be helpful. Enemy hits have a chance of missing. And that's a light thing, so that wouldn't be that terrible to carry around. On the basis of stamina, at least. So that might be worth looking at. Now, what do you want for that, exactly? Points? Maybe points? Well, that's unfortunate because I don't have many points right now. Can I, like, go past you? I can. Bandage. Not liking the sound of that. Uh-oh. That wasn't me. Was that you, chat? You making noises? Oh, they're just straight up not even gonna tell me what that is. Uncomfortable. Wow, okay, I was not expecting to have as much glare from my window as I am. Hold on 1 second, I'm gonna close that back up. It's not even facing my screen, it's just next to my screen, but it's very bright out, and the game is very dark. And how do you go? Alright. Much better. Now, we can be fully aware when a machine jumps out of the shadows and mutilates us. Oh, God. I was a pixel. I was a pixel away from triggering that. Come on. I was falling. Before I could comprehend what was happening, my entire body was weightless. I was too shocked to even yell out. Amongst the dust and shattered rubble of the bridge, I plummeted downwards into the darkness. I'm going to die. My head seemed to be screaming at me. I'm going to die. For real this time. For every instant of free fall, the enveloping terror and nausea that filled me grew with my certainty that I wouldn't survive the impact. Suddenly, I felt my shoulder and lower back collide with a hard object. My body erupted into pain, and it sent me spinning away. Turning rapidly in free fall, I felt as though I continued to pick up speed. Again, a small collision. This time my legs screamed with searing hot pain. It hurts so much. Oh, God. What the I can't see that. I can't see that on my screen. I can see it in the OBS window, but I can't see it on my screen. Wow. It hurts. I felt the racing of my own pulse in my eyes as blood rushed my skull. OBS must be, like, boosting the gamma or something, because that's, like... Wow, that's almost completely invisible on my screen. Again, maybe that's partially the window, blooming in my eyes, but... Man, that is dim. When is it going to happen? When am I going to hit my head? That's when I'll die. I'll break my neck and bleed out at the bottom of this chasm. Between every sharp breath, my body seemed to collide with something else. It felt like rope or cords of some sort. They seemed to arrest my momentum for a short moment before the tension tore them apart. I thought about closing my eyes. I couldn't see anything to begin with. But I began to realize something. Am I slowing down? Falling through another set of cords, I felt my body spin sideways and decelerate somewhat. I was sliding against some sort of slanted surface, rolling. It was gradual enough that I hadn't collided with it too forcefully. I continued to slow, still rolling on my side. It was dark. Very dark. At last, I seemed to arrive at some sort of edge and fell a final short distance. With a resonating impact, my body crumpled onto the hard, flat ground. Well, we seem to have fallen for quite a ways. We are very far down. I don't know how we're going to be getting back up in 2 hours. I don't know about this one, folks. My head spun and my limbs felt like lead. I'm still alive. Oh, God. Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. Are my legs broken? I tried to move them. Pain erupted from my lower body, but I could feel my feet and move my toes. My heart beat rapidly. What do I do? My head was pounding. I need to try and sit up. Throughout the motion, I was forced to clench my teeth to keep from yelling out in pain. I can't tell if I've broken any limbs, but my arms, legs, and shoulders and ribs are badly bruised at the very least. My fall slowly coming down through the cables, and when I came up against that incline, I suppose it was enough to avoid lethal injury. I held deathly still, trying not to make the pain any worse. I was hyperventilating too. I can't get my breathing under control. I should be relieved, right? I almost died. Again. But I lived. Why? Why won't my heart stop beating? Hey, maybe you are chosen by God at this point, because that's an impossible fall that you just survived. Maybe divine intervention is the best explanation here. How far have I fallen? I need to climb back up. Can I climb back up? What will I do if I encounter ancestors down here? Are you letting me move? You are. But I have 5 health. This is less than ideal. Can I actually... Okay. I was wondering if I could, like, adjust the gamma. I don't think I can. I don't think I can do that. Oh, settings. Here we go. Music volume, sound volume. Huh. Well, it is what it is, I guess. If I want a brighter screen, I'm going to have to look through OBS. Abandoned crop factory. I can't... Or facility, excuse me. I can't do anything here. What am I supposed to do with you? Maybe you won't see me. Maybe you're friendly. Maybe I can go the other way. Nope. Alright. You're gonna make me go at this with 5 health, eh? Yeah, no, that's an immediate death. Okay. We have... I suppose I could try and heal myself, actually. Oh. I still have items with me, right? Quest. Alright, hold on. Game's lagging a little bit here. Hold on. Come on. There we go. Sometimes it'll do that. Sometimes it will just not accept inputs for like a couple seconds. Hello, what are you? Boost defense? I could probably use that. Let me heal. That's gonna be something at least. I can at least try and... Okay, not the end of the world. Just needed a bit... Oh, God, there's more of you. laceration. Oh, you bastard. Ah. Alright, I was prepared for one, not two. See, the trouble is, it knocks me back so much that it's just constantly pushing me out of the arena and restarting the battle. So let's try, first of all, healing myself up. And actually, let me try doing that twice. I might need it. I'm in a sorry state right now. Now, is there anything else in here that I could... Laceration, fracture... Maybe salvaged for a tiny amount of memory iron. Oh, I can just do that. Interesting. Okay, so salvaging these can be done from the menu, and it gives me a little bit of memory iron. But if I lose my memory iron, then it's lost as well. So it might just be worth keeping those on me until I need them, because there's no real restrictions on how much I can keep in my inventory, at least not yet. And these items don't get lost upon death, so it might be worth holding on to these until I actually need them in the moment. Alright, there's my memory iron again. God, it just keeps pushing me back further and further. Ooh. Right there. And then it'll come at me and just force me into more defense. Oof. These guys are tough. Okay. What should I be doing differently here? Well, I could try and just skip past them, but that seems unlikely to work. It's worth a shot. Let's try a pure evasion strat this time. I'm just gonna try and dodge past everyone. Oh, hello. Dodge past all of these guys. I think I can try and, like, kite you over here. Come on. Oh, nope. Oof. I'm actually going to try and dodge out. A bandage, eh? Is a tight spot. Oh. This is awful. Yeah, no, that was a bad idea. I need to just be more careful. Okay, so it doesn't help that I need to, like... Or at least I feel like I need to just double heal every time when I start up. So I'm already starting at a disadvantage when it comes to healing items. Those might be forfeit. I can't get a read on their patterns. Okay, they're not that tough if I can land the hits. It's just their attack patterns are very difficult to predict. I'm already down to 32 health. I might be able to slip past you. Do I want to do that, though? I don't know. See, I'm confused about when I can dodge and when I can't. Because the game has said to me that I can dodge attacks generally, but it seems to not really want to let me do that. It seems to only let me dodge attacks that are specifically dodge attacks. And I don't know if I'm just pressing those buttons wrong. But it seems like... Yeah, like those. I can dodge those. Got that one. Reminded me. Hey, I even get an ancestor, or nope, a wedding stone. Fascinating. Alright, at the risk of dooming myself, I'm gonna use my last heal there. I can grab this. Get advantage, hopefully, no. There we go. There we go. An ancestor component and an ancestor appendage. Lot of memory iron I can get from salvaging those. And picked up a white powder. Oh, Christ. It's just full of them. It's just entirely full of them, huh? Well, the good news is... Yeah, no. That's gonna be dead. Oh, boy. I have started off on a difficult one this time. there's anything else I'm not thinking of here. Maybe different items. Maybe different items. Boosting defense, definitely I'm gonna need. Alright, we'll switch out that for now. Maybe... Oh, it would have been really nice to have had the opportunity to trade for stuff with the scout machine. Alright. Just gonna use that. Gradually working my way through the abandoned crop facility. Oh, I can't predict what they're doing. They do this thing where they'll push you out of the ring. They'll immediately get healed back to full health, but they'll still then immediately attack you, starting a new battle. It's not fun. Yeah, I'll take my, what, 200 memory iron I got there? Hey, not too bad. Not too shabby. Get some ancestor components. I think those all survive death, so I am farming a little bit here. It'll be nice when I finally get to a bonfire and... or I guess campsite, whatever we're calling them. I got that one. Got a critical hit. Oh, whoops. No, I want... pick up. Okay, still searching around for anything that I can use differently, or any other path that I can take. I'm just going to use this. Get me back to mostly full health. That extra defense has been, well, helpful. I don't think I'm going to be able to slip past these guys, especially because they have two heads. They have two heads facing in opposite directions. I don't think I can sneak up on them, really. Alright. I got that one. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to get forced out of a battle, only to immediately get forced back into a battle on the back foot without having a chance to get advantage. I could try and strike immediately after getting pushed out. I could try and do that. That's something, at least. I don't think there's anything I can use in here to help me. Maybe a different weapon? Maybe a different weapon. Let's try a different weapon. Why not? What do we have to lose at this point? Equip there. No. I forget exactly how you want me to do this. Unequip. Okay. Oh, I want to equip this, but I can't because it's already equipped. So I need to unequip it. No. I need to replace you there, then go here and replace you there. Okay. Weird. Very weird. Very strange. Inflict armor break buildup. Knockback strong. Stamina cost 35. I don't know if this is going to help, but we're going to try. I don't think this is going to help. I can try this technique eventually. Nope. That will not work. Alright, back to the sword. Replace you with you. And I don't use the secondary at all, so who cares? Oh, I should probably heal myself. I hope this isn't still real time when I'm in the menu. I'm gonna go a second heal. Seems to be important. I never seem to get the dodge, and it always throws me off. Back down to 4 health. Alright. That was a bad run. I am getting these blocks. I am almost certain I'm hitting them correctly. Maybe I need to try using the D-pad? And just to be 100% sure. Story mode is off. Why was that off? Why was that off this whole time? Hold on. I don't recall saying you could turn that off. Okay, I'm still getting those correctly. Alright, yeah, no. That was part of the problem I was having. Do I need to reactivate that every time I turn on the game? I might, actually. Alright. Get over here. Alright, so part of the problem may have been that I had inadvertently not been playing on story mode this entire time. Lesson learned. Bam. Alright. Stellar. This is much more manageable now that I have the proper settings turned on. Sorry for that, earlier on. I'm definitely gonna steal you. Oh, still missed the dodge. That's my bad. Bam. Bam. Get over here. Block that. Bam. Bam. I've got it. Alright, so clearly my mistake was not checking to make sure that story mode has been on the entire time. I may have been inadvertently playing on a harder difficulty than I had intended to. Lots of ancestor appendages. Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm definitely going to deal with you first. Oh, there's a bunch of you. I am defending against a number of enemies here. Again. Bam. This is going much more smoothly now that I am playing at my appropriate difficulty level. Yes, and we're playing this game again of knocking me out. Gonna have to start on you again, but it's manageable. No, I'm dealing with you first. Ah, I knocked them out. It healed them. Rats. Need to be more careful about staying within the boundaries of the battle. get as precise as I can. And then you. Bam. 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 Oh. I think we're nearing it. Haha! Alright, that room is done. Alright. I'm wondering how... Oh, a lot of items there. Oh my god! So many metal things. So we've got that there. Did I come up? I came up through one of these. I think I'm just going up, generally. Cutscene? Merciful God. Ugh, okay. Sorry if that was a bit frustrating to watch. It was a bit frustrating to play. Turns out I had my difficulty setting wrong. I don't know if the game saves my difficulty setting in between sessions. I am learning this now. I'll be sure to check that in the future, because, good God, I am not built for a full-on Souls-like at full difficulty. Merciful God. I recognize this area. I can't continue further in this condition. I need to leave right now. I need to leave now and go home. I need to recover before anyone notices I'm hurt. Oh God. Oh God above. There must be some way around the missing bridge. I can make it back. I can make it back. I can make it. The missing bridge? I can't. No more for tonight. Alright, you're not letting me go that way, that's fine. Some way around the missing bridge. I don't like how empty this is. Alright, yeah. Yeah, that should be fine. Up through this area, probably some enemies in here. Oh, you just brought me all the way back out. Alright, that wasn't even on me. Aram. Merciful God, I was getting worried. You've been gone for way too long tonight. It's been well over... I'm sorry. God above. You're hurt. Aram, what the hell? I just fell while I was walking, Tala. It wasn't an ancestor. I'm okay. It's nothing too serious. You look terrible. If the others saw you like this... I'll pull my menage over my face. It'll be fine. Please, just... I know. I know it looks bad, but I'm not in any danger. I just tripped. Aram, is that really the truth? Of course... No. Don't answer so quickly. Tell me what's really wrong. Tell me what happened. Tala, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm mostly angry with myself for being careless. But I'm telling the truth. It wasn't an ancestor. I see. I think Tala fully suspects that we are lying to him about the ancestors. Even though that time we technically weren't. It was actually just a fall that got us. Our shift ended, and I left in haste with my menage pulled low. I didn't even stop to say goodbye to the other 2 sentries. I was trying desperately to hide my limp. Reaching the alleyway outside my house, I stopped and sat down. My body ached in protest, and I gritted my teeth. My heart was still racing. I hadn't stopped since I came to at the bottom of that chasm. What is this feeling? I'm so... afraid. It seemed it was finally catching up with me. Thoughts of that day under the evening sun. The ancestor that silently murdered Kayan and Rayash. The darkness of the well and the many horrors that stalked me within its endless halls and rooms. I'd been pretending I wasn't afraid before, of course. In front of Sachi, Mom, Khan, Prava, Tala. But I was doing just as good a job at fooling myself. I am afraid. I'm really afraid. I should head inside. I'll sleep it off. The pain in my body, my racing heart. Surely, I won't even remember tomorrow. It's the festival, right? That'll take my mind off things. I don't have time to be afraid. I have so much work to do in the well. So much to uncover. I can't possibly stop anytime something like this happens. I won't stop until it's done. Alright, are we still limping? I mean, maybe not visibly, not in the sprite animation at least. There you are! So get this. Prava was telling me earlier about how... Hey, Khan, I'm pretty tired tonight. I think I'm headed to bed. Huh? You can sleep in a second, this is funny. Not now. Really. I'll hear it tomorrow, okay? Alright then. It's the festival, though, remember? We're off work. You didn't forget again, did you? That was super embarrassing for you last time, if you'll recall. I didn't forget. Good night. Good night, then. We're not gonna be able to hide this forever. Alright. First of all, let's save. Actually, let me salvage... excuse me. Let me salvage some of the components for some memory iron. We've got 1731. I wonder... select amount to use. I've got, what, 19 in there now? That's almost 20. Let's go with 10. Salvaged. Okay, we get an extra 500 memory iron. We can rest and we can level up. What are we at lowest right now? Energy and resistance. I feel like we need to boost up a lot of these. Alright, we can confirm that. What else do we need for this? We need another 775 memory iron. Let me actually just do that. Let me... Memory iron... 700. We'd need more than that. Let's salvage... I don't know, 5 of these. Can we get this? No. We need another 10. Alright, fine. We're doing some salvage back home. It's fine. One more there. Level up. Get my resistance also up to 6. And that's what we like to see. Go to bed. We had a hard day today. We earned it. Starting off on non-story mode, what was I thinking? I woke the next morning feeling somewhat better. My body ached, of course, but my head was clearer. Quietly pulling myself out of bed, I changed out of my torn clothing and tied up my hair. I tried to think over what I'd done last night in my weakened state. I'd acted far too strangely when I came home. I was in pain, exhausted, and afraid. I think I was a bit short with Kanari, and Tala too. I should try and offer some sort of explanation, just so Khan doesn't think anything's weird. But something is weird. Is Khan even here? Is he even up? Yeah, he is. Morning. You feeling okay? Good morning. I'm fine. Sorry about last night. I've been, really tired from work lately. I seem to recall you telling me that all you do is sit around. Well, yeah, but... Come on, man, I'm joking. Don't worry about it, I understand. Thanks, Khan. And anyway, there are far more important things to discuss today. Oh? Our festival day plans, of course. The one day a year we have entirely to ourselves. Prav and I were discussing the itinerary yesterday. Ah, of course. What did she have in mind? Well, the ceremony starts just after sundown, right? Once your lady love Sachita is done with her bit in the procession, please don't call her that, we can all enjoy the festivities for a little while. It's been too long since the four of us all hung out like old times, you know? Very true. I guess I'm partially responsible for that with my disappearance and all. Well, I wasn't going to be the one to say it. But anyway, we were thinking we'd head to the tree afterwards and have our own after party. All right then. Sounds like a good idea. But hey, what are we going to do until then? What, did you have plans? No. Did you? No. Well then... Aha! Seems like we're on the same page. Shall we engage in our yearly festival day tradition of bumming around and doing absolutely nothing? It would bring me no greater pleasure. Festival day, holidays, everybody celebrate. Everybody relax. Cool down after the horrors. With that, Kanare and I boldly stepped into the street. Aimless and with no destination in particular. We wandered the settlement, going anywhere that seemed to call us at that moment. Taking back streets and poking our heads into any buildings that left their doorways uncurtained. We passed the time with simple talk and bad jokes. The conversation was wholly unremarkable, of course. It was the sort of talk between two friends who'd known each other for a very long time, so it really didn't matter what was said in particular. Even if it was the same inside joke we'd been telling for years, or a story we'd heard 1,000 times. Just hearing it, and laughing with good company was enough for us both. In all honesty, calling our excursions through the settlement a tradition was a bit grandiose. You would think that given a single free day a year, you would spend weeks planning precisely what we wanted to do to take full advantage. Yet, year after year, Kanare and I found ourselves both too lazy and without any inspiring ideas to make a big event of it. So it became our little ritual to simply laze about and enjoy the warm weather. It was nice. I found myself appreciating it more than ever that day. It distracted me from the many things on my mind. Initially, I had been a bit worried that Khan would be prying at me, given my strange behavior last night. Hope we have an ad in 3 minutes, everybody. Brace yourselves for that. But of course, I was worried over nothing. This was Kanare, after all. He and I never talked about anything particularly serious. I never thought it was too strange, honestly. We just didn't have that sort of relationship. I could tell if Khan was upset or feeling down, of course. But I knew asking him about it, even if it seemed like that was what I was supposed to do, only made him uncomfortable. Hello, Lordling. Hello, hello. I am also waving in real life. Welcome in. How are you doing today? This fine Saturday afternoon. It's a bit... Actually, I haven't checked the weather. Now that the add command is working on the bot, I haven't had to do my weekly bot check by doing the temperature conversion. 82 degrees out today. Okay, it's a bit warm. Here. I hope you're doing well. And I hope the day continues to treat you well. Doing okay? How you been? I've been doing pretty good. So I was having a real hard time banging my head against the game when I first started off today, only to find out that at some point down the line, my difficulty setting had switched of its own accord, and I was no longer on the story mode setting for the combat, which made it a lot harder, don't you know, playing on the wrong difficulty setting. So I switched it back to story mode, and now everything is progressing normally. It is also the day of the festival. A day where we don't have to go to work or down into the well. There it is. It's working now. Love it. It was just a simple box that I had to check in the settings of the bot. Of course, whenever there was drama with Qunari, more often than not, Prava was involved somehow, and I certainly never wanted to come between them. So I simply never pried on anything personal, and I was grateful that he did the same for me. I find I'm reserved about my feelings in a similar way. Maybe that's why we get along so well. Who knows? Surprisingly, our day of doing nothing in particular slid by quickly. Qunari and I soon found that the sun was beginning to set, meaning the festival would be starting in a few short hours. He had to return to the kiln for final preparations, but told me to come and find him in Prava as soon as it got dark. Apparently, we would meet up and then find a good spot to watch the procession from. Waving him away, I found myself with a bit more free time to kill. I'll go meet Qunari and Prava in maybe an hour or so. Oh, there's the ad. I'm going to take this opportunity for a drink of water. Lovely. Less than 10 seconds left in the ads. You love to see it. Or rather, you love to not see them. The ads. And the community is back. Or so OBS tells me. I'll go meet Qunari and Prava in maybe an hour or so. Until then, it's side quest time. When you're ready, meet up with Qunari and Prava for the Sunlight Festival. Top notch. Here I am. Let me enter here. This is just some guy's house. Hey, can I get up on this roof, finally? Yeah, no, you're not gonna let me up there. That's fine. I am noticing something that I didn't notice before. Oh, that's my house. And that is... at the bottom... Aurum 1v21. Why is it labeled like that? Aurum 1 version 21. Does that change every time that I die? That'd be a very curious choice of labeling. I need to pay attention to that next time I die. Hey, you. Wound bearer. One way to test... I mean, we're gonna... Whoops. I dropped the controller. I mean, we're gonna find out eventually. I know I'm not good enough to never die in this game again, so... remind me to check next time I die. If I'm not noticing. Seen any masons around? Masons. Other than in this room, no. God damn it. Had my whole crew of 3 apprentices up and disappear on me an hour ago. With everything we've got going on today at the festival, we still haven't finished the damn altar. I swear to God when I find them. Altar? You don't mean the altar for the ritual? The centerpiece of the entire procession? You didn't finish that several days ago? I'm telling you, it's these apprentices fresh out of General Ed. They're lazy and entitled, all of them. Not like you and I were. We actually understood the meaning of respect and, like, hard work. Right. I give them a break out of the kindness of my heart, and when I come back, they've fucked off. Some way to thank me. Guess I'll have to go round them up once I'm done here. Time's tight, but it's not like there's much left to finish on the altar. Well, that's a relief. Should only be another half hour or so. Or maybe more like 6 or 7 hours. Actually, why don't I go look for them while you keep working? Happy to do it. Really. For real? Alright then, why not? With that sword of yours, it should be no problem putting them in line. You want me to threaten your apprentices? Threaten them all you need to. Okay, I guess he is fine with that. I'm not really supposed to do that. Okay. New quest. Alter emergency. Alright. So you better track them down and send them back to the brickworks as soon as possible. Search the settlement for the 3 missing apprentice masons and then return to the brickworks. Alright, let's start there. Hey, have you seen any masons? No, not yet. Don't begin the festival. Not yet. Okay, I'm not going that way, I guess. Oh, where would a mason hide? Mason! Mason! I'm just gonna check every building, I guess. Nope. Didn't want to talk to you. Wanted to go in here. The 3 apprentice masons. They could also be hiding in an alleyway. Let me get out of the way. Enter here. Nope, not in the alley. This seems like a place where a mason might hide. Nope. I wonder if they're going to be labeled, even. Like, am I just going to be talking to literally everyone that I come across? Is that the plan? Doesn't seem like a great plan, but in the absence of better options, what else can I really do? Loom will come back to... Oh, hello. Nope. I think I am just going to have to deadass talk to every single person on the street that I come across. Oh, Aram, long time no see. Yeah, likewise. What was your obligation again? Masonry. Do you still like it? Enough, I guess. Archimancy does get kind of boring when all you can make are bricks. I don't really get to do any archimancy, so you have that over me. Don't you practice on your own, though? Not really. I guess I'm lazy. Fair enough. Hey, is that not the mason? I guess not. Library. Hey, just you again today? It's just me every day. Do you know how many new apprentices the library got this season? 0. That's right, literally none. Really? Well, they've been steadily moving children out of the history keeping into other obligations for the past few years. Guess they consider it a pretty low priority. Can't blame them, honestly. But if things continue as they are, the next apprentice at the library will probably be my kid. God, that's kind of depressing. Well, the bright side is that you get to run things around here, right? You sound like the library master. What that means in practice is that I have to do literally everything. Speaking of, have anything for barter today? I haven't been asked that in a while. I'm pretty sure you were asked that last time I came in here. Increases turn time. Effect can be stacked. Oh! Hello. Turn time, you say? Can I do that? Nope. Still don't totally understand how the barter system works. Hi. Nothing much, just passing by. Are any of you masons? Oh, hello. What's all this? Apprentice nurse Sita. Oh, hello. I know you. Aram, right? Yeah. It's been a while. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. And, How is Prava doing these days? I can't recall the last time we've spoken. She's doing good. That's nice to hear. I'm glad she's happy. Oh, I'm sorry, did you need something? Well, I was just wondering, the wound kits for the armory are made up here, right? Are there any spares I could barter for? Spares? Well, let's see. Yeah, there are a few extras lying around back here. That's great. So then, why did you come all the way here to ask, though? We give almost all of them to the armory already. Won't they give you more if you just ask? The fact that she was asking questions wasn't ideal, but I was prepared for it. It was indeed odd, a wound bearer asking around for extra wound kits outside of the armory. Now that I'd decided to take more trips into the well, I'd been trying to think of a way I could get my hands on extra supplies. I couldn't risk raising suspicion at the armory by asking for more wound kits, let alone steal them. But I'd recalled that they were made at the hospice to begin with. As it happens, I know somebody there. Sita isn't a friend per se, but she knows me well enough that if I can make up a halfway decent excuse, it might work. Well, I kind of want them for personal use. I've been trying to practice my first aid skills lately, but the armory won't let me take more than the one I've been assigned. So I was hoping I might be able to trade for a few, you know? Oh, I see. That makes sense. Sure, I think it would be okay for me to barter them off. Let's see. For anything in the storage closet, they told me to ask for... Oh, that's right. Petrified bone. If you can get your hands on any, I'll gladly trade you. Petrified bone? That stuff is hard to come by. Can't we do anything else? No, I'm sorry. Apparently we're conducting research at the moment and really need some. We've asked the temple if they can spare any maidens to make some for us, but that's some ways out at least. For now, I'd get in trouble for giving anything back here away for less. Okay, no problem. Thank you. If I find any, I'll bring it straight here. Do I have any petrified bone? Oh, I also picked up a bandage. Petrified bone. Where does one find petrified bone? Do I have petrified? I feel like I have petrified bone. Or did I just not come across that yet? No. Looks like I don't. Oh well. Where does one even get petrified bone? I haven't seen any down in the well. Maybe it's like out and about around here? I mean, I guess if they just gave you the resources needed for health kits willy-nilly, it would somewhat mitigate the suspense. Where do you get petrified bone? In a place like this. I don't suppose I can trade for petrified bone. That doesn't seem likely. No, these are all combat wares. Oh well. It seems that's not in the cards for right now. But we'll keep our eyes out for petrified bone. And once again, it's starting to look like the only... Where am I going? Today's the festival. I'm off duty. Wound bearer, yeah. For real? Hey, let me ask you something. Okay. Do you do alright with girls? Huh? You know, does being a wound bearer help get girls' attention? Oh, well, I am not the person to be asking about this, friend. Hopefully? Ah, crap, I knew it. I hate sewing, it's not manly at all. I'll never find a girl this way. Well, good luck. Now, I have faith in you. Good evening. To you as well. Why? Where might the Masons have gone? Hello, young man. Hello, sir. That doesn't seem like a young Mason. Alright, young man. Nothing much. Just passing by. Where else could it be? I mean, the only other place I haven't checked is the temple, but that doesn't seem like a place they'd be hanging around. Could be wrong. Old woman is probably not going to be an apprentice brickmaker. What about you? Young woman. I think I've seen you around. It's possible. Find the 3 apprentice brickmakers. It could just be like people out and about. Nope, you're an apprentice carpet maker. You any good with thread? Thread. Like making it. Archimancy. Sorry, not at all. Honestly, I'm not very good at making anything. Ah, crap. What's wrong? Well, the master just assigned me to thread making. I used to just do embroidery, so I haven't had any practice at archimancy in like a year. I'm screwed. I'm sorry to hear that. You have a mission for me, though. Aram, happy festival day. Thank you, Master Dynemaker. I was hoping I might see you this afternoon. I've remembered the ending to that story. The one about the flowers, do you remember? Oh, yes. I would love to hear it. Of course. Though, if I may bother you first, dear, the loom is quite overwhelmed with preparations for the procession this evening. I would appreciate it if you would do another errand for me. You're always such a great help. Oh, of course. I'd love to pitch in. My obligation never gets to help with festival preparations. Well, it's nothing too difficult. I'm making a last-minute batch of white dye. So I've been meaning to go and pick some white sunflowers, but haven't had the time. Flowers? What do you need them for? White dye I make by hand. No archimancy. It's tradition. Oh, I see. I don't need many. Go and pick a few from the temple gardens, okay? The temple? But I could never... Picking those flowers, Master. Isn't it forbidden? Oh, don't worry yourself. I've been taking my flowers from the garden for years. If anyone looks at you strangely, just tell them I've sent you. Alright. If you really think it's not an issue, I'll be back soon. Don't take too long. I might forget the story again. Alright. Well, we've got that as well. But the Masons. I need to find the Masons. Where would they even go? Long ago with archimancy. Make simple implements like pottery and clothes. I can't imagine having that sort of skill. I'm not so good myself. It's an important skill for young people. Don't lose it. I'll try my best. Yeah, no, he's really quite bad at archimancy. Clothier. No, you're an apprentice clothier. Oh, I've already forgotten. Now, where would I go looking for masons? If not just on the street. To you as well. Wound bearer. Yeah. I've seen you around. Hello. The depot. Hey, you're a mason, right? Aren't you supposed to be finishing the altar? No. I swear, Semkesh said he was going to handle that. He didn't. I promise you he didn't. Get back to the brickworks, for God's sake. Why the hell are you so worked up about it? There's like 3 other guys helping out. Nobody even knows I'm gone. They all think the same thing. Everyone's gone. Whatever, I'm busy. I'm trying to get a good trade on my necklace for my girl. I'm planning to give it to her at the festival. Nice, right? I'm sorry, but I genuinely couldn't care less. For what it's worth, he's not getting a good trade for it. What? Don't make me drag you back. please. I love that the shopkeeper's just like, no, I'm absolutely fleecing this guy. Fine, fine. I'm going. Alright, that's one. One down. Are you one of the Masons? No. I doubt it's going to be anyone on the outside. So maybe I just need to be checking more of the people inside shops. Maybe like here. There's no way I can just walk around in sunlight. How does anything get delivered on time when you're keeping half of it on the floor? You're telling me. The apprentices we got last season are awful. Man, the apprentices! The latest apprentices! They're not good. Everyone's complaining about them. What's going on with the education system here? Memorizing the sorting system, and they still can't seem to keep track of the handful of letters. Honestly, I feel like we might have an educational crisis going on in our culture. Arms housing. I suppose if I run out of... I mean, there's the brickworks. I swear. I'm putting that damn thing down again. Yeah, you were the one that I had to do the key quest with. So where, oh where? Not yet. No. Okay. So Kanari's roommate. Yeah. I'm a little jealous of that guy. Well, yeah. That girl is always hanging around him and doing stuff for him. Prava, right? Well, they're childhood friends. Yeah, but even so, why does she put up with him? He never takes this seriously. We're all trying to advance this season too, and he keeps causing trouble for us. He means well, trust me. Kanari seems like more of an ass than he really is. Maybe. Hey, have you seen any, like, Masons around? I'm gonna have to just go into every building, huh? Okay. This is my house, right? Yeah. I know that a Mason doesn't live there. Hello? Hey, you're a Mason, right? Yeah. Aren't you supposed to be finishing the altar? The festival starts at sundown. They still needed me on that? Yes! Actually, nah. I think Samkesh has that handled. He's dependable, you know? Whoever that is, he absolutely does not. I can't believe this. Why the hell are you even back here? I was just taking a break. God. Just get back there, please, and finish it. Alright. Alright. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. We just need to find one more. Courier, we already got. Are you a Mason? Hey, do you live here? Yeah, I do. Well, actually, I did, up until recently. I'm on my way out pretty soon. Yashan decided to move me, I guess, to a place across town with a few other guys. I don't know, something about it being more efficient to use this building as storage. Oh, I see. I'm sorry about that. It's whatever, I understand where they're coming from. The population is still recovering from all that nastiness when we were kids. Doesn't make sense to waste a whole room on housing for one when they could give me roommates, right? Alright, so you're not a Mason. Where else would a Mason be hiding? In here? No. In here? Nope, already found one there. So if it's roughly equidistant, then there should be a Mason around here, right? In the clothier, perhaps? No, you've got something else going on. Where might the last Mason be hiding? The loom. Nope, that's a different mission. Nothing there. I wonder if somebody might be hiding in the temple, actually, now that I think about it. You! Hello. Good afternoon. You... Are you a mason? Well, yes, but I... What the hell are you doing? The altar still isn't finished. And you've run off. I'm sorry. I know it was wrong. But I can't go back. What? Those other two. They do nothing but bicker and argue. They're constantly fighting, and I'm always in the middle of it. Earlier, Parshun dropped an entire brick on my foot, thinking I was Shadur. Shadur wasn't even nearby. I'm going to catch a stray hammer to the skull at this rate. They'll finish it without me, I'm sure. That's seeming unlikely. Listen, it sounds difficult, but you need to bear it for the rest of the afternoon. Okay? The festival will fall apart if you three don't find a way to work together. I'm begging you. Go back. You seem determined. I respect that. I'll do it for you. Okay. That works. All right. All in a good day's work. I also got a message that I might have a Home Depot delivery coming soon, so I might have to mute for a minute or two when that happens. Alright, back to the brickworks. To turn in our quest. And achieve the esteem of the brickworkers. Oaks. Grand old oaks. Brickworks are this way. Now, where would I find petrified bone? That's the big question. Probably not around here. I'm back. I found them. And I sent them all back here. Really? Thanks a million, Woundbearer. Maybe we can finish this thing on time now. How soon will they get here? Soon? I'm sure it'll be any minute now. Uh-huh. Well, we got some bricks out of the deal. Not sure what one does with bricks in this game. Trades, probably? I don't know. Alright, now let's go back to the temple. Pick some flowers and get the rest of that story. I'm fairly confident that we have achieved all of the side quests we need to, at least in this day. I haven't thoroughly checked through the temple, though. I might want to do that. I don't think we usually get side quests from the temple, but if I'm going to be there anyway, I might as well check. Not even really gonna investigate this thoroughly, just gonna do a quick run through. See if anybody has a floating bubble above their head. Doesn't look like it. That's the Ashan's chambers. No, not you. Want to enter. Nope. Nope. I'm not even sure I even recall ever getting a side quest from the temple. But let's go up. Do a once-over. Nothing here. And that's it. Alright. Back out to the garden. And we'll complete our only other side quest of the day. I didn't see a prompt for picking flowers while I was out there. Pick a few white sunflower. Oh, wait. Out here? Oh. Pick that. The short path that passed through the ornate gateway into the temple courtyard cut between two patches of dry yellow grass on either side. I stopped at the edge of the sidewalk and admired the white sunflowers that dotted the brush. Their color was striking against the waves of amber and gold that rippled softly around them. More nervous than before, I looked to my left and right to see if anyone was watching. It should be okay, right? I'm here on official business. I have permission, right? I crouched down and made it as if to reach out and pick the nearest flower, but stopped. A sudden wave of paranoia hit me, and I looked over my shoulders once again. People walked by casually, engaged in excited chatter about the upcoming festival, paying me and my nervous antics absolutely no mind. It's fine. It's fine. I began to reach out my hand once more, but seconds later stopped, stood, and cursed. Damn it. Damn it. This is ridiculous. I can't just take these flowers like some sort of thief. I'll ask my mom first. If she says it's okay, then it's okay. All right. Sounds simple enough. Our mother is, after all, one of the high priestesses. I don't know about high priestess, but she's one of the priestesses. One of the Sunlight Maidens. And probably a fairly senior one as far as it goes. She is my mom's age, after all. Now, I forget which room you're in. This one? Nope. Oh, it pointed to me. It pointed for me. Mom, the flowers in the garden outside the gate. Can I take them? I mean, they aren't for me. You're not making any sense, love. They're for someone else. Oh my. Are they for Miss Sachita? No, the master dye maker. She wants me to collect white sunflowers for the loom. She needs them for dye, I guess? She told me I could pick them from the garden. But those flowers are sacred, right? I just couldn't... Oh, hush. You've not done anything wrong, Aram. If Arashi has sent you, then of course you can take them. As many as you need. Thank you for asking my permission first. Really? That's a relief. I was worried for nothing. How is Varashi? She's such a wonderful woman. She's doing well. I should go and see her soon. Are you going back there now? Tell her hello for me. Yes, Mom, of course. All right. Are they going to boot us back out to the street, or... Oh, yep, right there. Picked white sunflower. All right. The loom is right here. I've brought the flowers, Master. Ah! And my mother says hello. Oh, how lovely. I hope she's not too overwhelmed with the temple's own festival preparations. Hers is the most important duty of all, no? Yes. Ah! The end of the story. It almost slipped my mind. Are you ready to hear it, dear? Please. Varashi stroked her chin for a moment, as if deciding where to begin. Let's see. Where were we? Ah, yes. Maka, the Sunlight Maiden, had introduced dye to the settlement. And with it came status, hierarchy, and most importantly, jealousy. You see, in the beginning, only Maka alone had the skill to create the now coveted dyes. Oh, hold on. Before we get to that, I might need to do a quick BRB, quick intermission to get the delivery. Hold on. I'll be back in mere moments, hopefully. Alright, we're back. I am excited to get into this story. I crave the lore. Alright, so. This Sunlight Maiden was the only person who could make dyes, and she was, apparently the subject of much envy because of it. Welcome back. Thank you very much, Lordly. If a craftsman wanted his menage woven with deep green, or an apprentice wanted a golden trimming to adorn his carpets, all of them went before Maka. They went before her, offered their services, their advice, anything they could possibly give in exchange for a taste of luxury. In only a short time, she had been elevated from a Sunlight Maiden, humble before God, to a ruler before whom nearly any man, woman, or child in the settlement knelt in reverence. Indeed, in many of the people's hearts, she was greater than even God himself. But not everyone looked upon Maka with favor. The sparks of jealousy had been sown, and they smoldered within the halls of the temple, where the Sunlight Maidens gathered in secret and spoke poisonous words against her. That foolish girl, they snited. Is her special favor against the children of sunlight not a heresy against God? The maidens uttered a chorus of agreement. They spoke as if in defiance of their god's honor, but indeed there was wickedness, as if in defense. I think that's misspelled. Of their god's honor, but indeed there was wickedness in their hearts. Maybe that's right. No, I don't think that's right. The leader of their group, a high priestess, led the charge. She is no longer fit to walk these halls among us. The high priestess spat. The witch has corrupted the minds of the island's people and led them away from God's light. We must remove her at once. But the people will no longer listen to reason. So we will act on behalf of God and make her pay in blood. So it came to pass that in the dead of night, the maidens snuck into her sleeping rooms and slit her throat with a ceremonial blade. The next morning, a great cry went across the settlement. The people mourned Maka and her works. The Sunlight Maidens, who had acted as a group, in their cowardice, they turned on the high priestess and offered her up to the Ashan as a martyr for their crime. She was put to death to atone, a life for a life. But before the day had gone, the people looked upon their fields and the once vibrant flowers that adorned them, and saw that they had been drained of their color. All that remained were flowers as white as the pale moon. It is thought that perhaps, in her dying moments, Maka prayed to God and asked forgiveness for her arrogance. She begged God so that never again would the island's people covet the possessions of another. And God, in his mercy, brought her grief, her wrath, and her sorrow to form. Yes, so it was that the island lost its colors. The eternal reminder of Maka, the Witch of Flowers, and her curse. But of course, the schema for her dyes still remain. Look around, Darum. Beautiful colors are all around us. They belong to everyone now. So the story has a good ending, after all. I don't know, but I think the murder in the dead of night thing kind of puts a sour note on that story. You're right. And, well, in my opinion, although the flowers might have lost their color, but they're still beautiful. Yes. Yes, they are, dear. And we got some dye out of it. Wonder if we can trade for dye. I mean, I wonder if we can trade dye for something else. Probably. Like, I don't know. Can I barter with you? Ah. can get dye. And I can trade dye. Carpet makers, clothes, concussion protection. Increase enemy item drop rate. Oh. I mean, I've got 2 dye. Oh no, I've got 4 dye. So it costs memory iron. Fascinating. It costs memory iron and some kind of item in barter. That's interesting. So, perfect hits deal extra damage. I can't say that I do that very often. Portion of your lost memory iron upon death. Oh, that's actually quite good. I'll put it here. Enemy item drop rate. Nice. Alright, I think we can head to the main quest. Let us continue the story. That is, after all, the mode that we are now on. So, the whole story of Maka, the Sunlight Maiden, who invented dyes, is interesting, because what we've been able to piece together about the history of the settlement so far is that it originally had a king, and then they overthrew the king and implemented the Ashan system. Hello, Kixie! Hello, hello! Welcome in. How are you doing today? I hope this Saturday morning is a pleasant one. I'm just trying to reason through some of the story, some of the lore that we just got taught. So this settlement used to have a king. They overthrew it, put in the Ashan. The Ashan were in place by the time of the story of Maka. And her whole thing was that she invented dye, the people became covetous of it, and of each other's things. Hi, hope you are well. I'm doing very well indeed. Nice and cool, playing some video games on a Saturday afternoon. Can't get much better than that. Thank you for the shout out. Of course, of course. Thank you for being here. You were last playing Kabuto Park. That is one that I am not familiar with. How did you enjoy Kabuto Park? Based on the name, I'm going to take a wild guess here and guess that it's some sort of cozy game. That's what I'm getting from Park, at least. Kabuto Park. Now that immediately brings to mind the Pokemon, Kabuto. So I'm doubting that they would have had the licensing to get that from Nintendo. So here's my guess, is it's an off-brand pastiche of Kabuto the Pokemon that populates a park that you then try and create and manage. That's probably way off, but that's solely going off of the name. Yes, that's a fair assumption. Based on Lordling's response, I'm guessing that's not quite what the game is. I'm not totally certain what Kixie's propensity for cozy games is. So I don't have that information to go into it with. You're not far off with the Pokemon idea. Well, because I figure, it's like Kabuto the Pokemon has to be based on a real animal of some kind, because that was still kind of the guiding ethos back in the first generation. It's a super cute bug-catching game, where you then fight your bugs. You're basically the bug catcher Pokemon trainer with real bugs. Oh. So wait, is a Kabuto like an actual bug? Like a prehistoric bug or something? Fascinating. Well, I wonder if we could do that for all of the Pokemon trainer types. I suppose you could. I want the cool trainer game. Fights are like sumo matches. I mean, I guess if you're using real bugs, you can't really do like magic animal powers like ice beam or hyper beam or a lot of beams in Pokemon. Sumo matches with cards. All right, now you've lost me. You've I listen, I'm not a big sumo fan. I don't even think I've seen a full sumo match in my entire life. I'm willing to bet they don't usually involve cards. I think that's a different Japanese sport. I think they may be mixing up Japanese sports here. What is an actual Kabuto? I need to look this up, actually. Hold on. What is a Kabuto? Kabuto. Some kind of bug, I'm guessing. Japanese helmet. It is a Japanese helmet. Huh. Is it like based on anything, or is arts, types, history? History, maybe. Kabuto. Oh, it's literally just a word for helmet. Interesting. Not sure how that translated into the Pokemon, but who knows what they were thinking in Nintendo back in those days. Your cards are your moves that you use in real time. Each bug adds different cards to your deck. You managed to pull a random side quest? Look, I like to learn these things, you know? I grew up with Pokemon. I entered in the Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald generation. I think that's 3. So you know, I have an affinity for the early Pokemon. I've fallen off since that. It's too much now. They ran out of ideas. I think they started running out of ideas in like Gen 5, but I imagine reasonable people could argue about that. It's super cute and yes, cozy, and I highly recommend. You can even shiny hunt. All right, no, they definitely know what audience they're courting with this one. Don't need to justify, just making an observation. Fair enough. Yeah, I do enjoy our random knowledge side quests. And I mean, I can sort of see how Kabuto the Pokemon translates into like a helmet shape. It's sort of like a horseshoe crab looking guy. You weren't far off with the Pokemon idea. I guess not. Shiny hunting, huh? Shiny hunting bugs. Can you do that in real life? Are there like real life bug color variants? I'm sure there must be. I'm not a bug person, like professionally or even in an amateur capacity. Yes? All right. I'm taking your word for that one. I'm not even going to argue. I imagine that most everyone has more knowledge about bugs than I do. There are variations of colors in bugs. All right, so I guess there are shiny bugs. The developers of this game knew what they were doing on multiple fronts. Kudos to Kabuto Park. Kabutos to Kabuto Park. There's a pun there somewhere. You can figure it out. I have faith in you. You know the random side quests for info? Yeah, I do the same. It's fun. Like ever since the days of Wikipedia, it's just been fun to sort of go down knowledge rabbit holes. And I learned about the cutest bug ever. Okay, well now I need to go down a side quest for this. What is the cutest bug ever? Tell me. Besides the jumping spiders, they're super cute too. Jumping spiders are uncharacteristically cute for spiders. I think even if you're adjusting for the arachnophobia potential, jumping spiders are pretty cute. Cutest bug, that's subjective. Well, let's see. What's this candidate for the cutest bug? Woolly Chafer. All right. Woolly Chafer. The Woolly Chafer beetle. It's a type of scarab beetle. All right. I think that might... We definitely might be encroaching into subjective territory here, but as far as beetles go, that is probably the cutest one. It has fur. I'll grant you bugs are a lot cuter when they have fur. This one still has some fairly bug-like features to it, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna put this on screen just in case, you know, people are not are not okay with bugs, but wow. They really do have fur. That's amazing. Where's this from? Species. I mean, the type of scarab beetles. I don't know. Are scarab beetles only found in Africa? I feel like I've only ever heard about them in Africa, so maybe it's by default an African beetle. I want to meet one. Call the local zoo. They've got to have. Yeah, you're out on the West Coast. You've got all the fancy advanced zoos. You probably can find a zoo that'll let you meet a woolly chafer, right? You've got some of these highfalutin zoos with their highfalutin animal species. Yes, I am ready to begin the festival. Huh? I don't know. It would never happen. That reminds me, I should see about going to the Butterfly Observatory sometime soon. Yeah, butterfly observatories are pretty cool. I know some people who are still kind of freaked out by them. Because, you know, bugs are bugs to some people. And butterflies are not really an exception, although I think most people will have an exception for butterflies. They're like the most harmless, gentle, and, let's be honest, pretty bugs out there. So they tend to get a pass. Yeah, but just... what if it did? I would never do that, though. What? Of course not. It's a hypothetical. Can you just play along? I'm trying to tell a joke here. It's not a very funny joke. Brava, I haven't even told it yet. That sounds cool. Yeah, I've been to... it's not exactly a butterfly observatory, but I've been to, like, botanical gardens that will occasionally do butterfly, like, releases. And that's pretty cool. They have to be very careful about the entrances and exits to that room. I remember I went to college in Cleveland, Ohio, and they had a botanical gardens there, where occasionally they would release butterflies into the atrium. And at both entrances to that room, they had a special, like, little holding room, almost like an airlock, almost, where it's just like a little extra room with another set of doors to just keep, you know, the airflow from ever being totally open straight through. And they had a bunch of mirrors in that little room where you could check yourself, like look around, check all angles, and make sure that you weren't, like, accidentally smuggling a butterfly, that the butterflies weren't stowing away on you out of the room. Which I thought was kind of funny. If you ever get the chance, you have to go to one. The Cleveland one is nice. I usually go to the Cincinnati one myself. I have not been to the Cincinnati one. I have not ever been to Cincinnati. But I can only assume that botanical gardens the world over have an appreciation for pollinators like butterflies. I doubt that the public reception would be as positive if they released a bunch of bees. I think people probably wouldn't go for that. The bee release, the bee observatory, probably not as much of a crowd pleaser, not getting as much tourist traffic when you announce, hey, in 3 hours we're going to release the bees. That's just me, though. I don't think I would want to stick around for the bees. Some people would. Some people really like the bees. Yeah, that's more niche, definitely. It draws a more limited crowd. But probably not zero, still. Some people do actually like bees. And I'm like, I used, you know, when I was a kid, I was like really afraid of bees. Because I think it's just kind of a normal thing for a kid to be afraid of. But I have learned to coexist around bees. Bees are cool. But I appreciate them academically, mostly from a distance. I do not make a habit of trying to tangle with bees. Prava, I haven't even told it yet. Yeah, but I just don't get... Excuse me? Aram, there you are. Thank God. Hey, Prava. Should we get going? I think things will be starting pretty soon. Please. Yes, let's. I found a good spot down the street to watch from. Follow me. All right, cutscene time. As the sun began to set, Prava led us down the streets through the now growing crowd. Darkness was overtaking the settlement, and quickly its many lanterns were lit, warm light filling the air. In only a short few hours, the main street had been entirely covered in traditional decorations. We have an ad coming in 3 minutes, everybody. Brace yourselves for that. I don't have any snooze power. I think I burned through all of those last time. Even after so many years, I found myself filled with childlike wonder and excitement. It was hard not to be, accompanied by friends and surrounded by such a display. This was a holy day, after all. The Sunlight Festival, they said, was the day in which God was the closest to his children. Even though he was gone from the sky, all of us felt his presence. Surely that's part of it. Okay, so I think they are deliberately saying, like, the sun is God to them. That is their conception of God, the sun. I mean, fair enough. A classic god to worship in many cultures throughout history. It's hard not to be impressed by the sun. The ceremony was about to begin. The crowd that now lined the street was enormous. It was safe to say that the Sunlight Festival brought every man, woman, and child of the settlement to the streets. After all, why would somebody miss it? Oh, that's cute. Look at that. I dig the lanterns. Love me some lanterns. Prava and Kanari stood close by. Close by. The three of us near the front of the crowd. Excited whispers and laughter filled the night air, smoky with the scent of cooking fires. My eyes went over the scene, taking it all in. I inhaled deeply, the cool evening breeze tinged with smoke filling my lungs. Yes, there's the ad message. The air seemed to stir with anticipation. It was as if everyone's excitement was my own. Suddenly, there was a distant drum beat, and immediately the crowd fell silent. In the street, surrounded by messengers on all sides, stood the Ashan. They typically appeared at the commencement of each year's ceremony. Trying to get as much out as fast as I can before the ad runs. Giving a few encouraging words to the settlement. Ashan Jaya spoke loudly. Tonight, we have gathered under the stars. All the children of God. The children of the sun. As is tradition, we have gathered to give thanks to him. Yeah, I guess I could have just waited a little bit, and I would have gotten confirmation. Children of God, children of the sun. They're drawing a very direct parallel here. So, we'll let the ads run. Yes, okay, so we definitely have a society of sun worshippers here. And that's interesting thematically, given that the place we descend into every day, the well, is a place devoid of sunlight. I imagine that there is thematic significance to that. A kind of hell for our society. Anyway, we're back. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks to him for our many blessings. He paused. However, I'm aware that this festival comes at an uneasy time. Recognition went across the crowd. Is it finally happening? Of course. Father had already told me to expect it. The Ashan are finally admitting it to us. The famine. If you've lived as long as I have, you would know that God often gives us challenges. I'm certain many of you have heard already in one way or another. You have seen the empty fields and noticed your daily meals reduced. So I won't delay this news any further. The harvest this year was indeed poor. He let his words hang. I knew what to expect, but even so, my heart skipped a beat. There was a low murmur of concerned voices from the crowd. It's undeniable that there will be difficulties, but it is precisely for this reason that our system is in place. The reason we carefully choose obligations. The reason we distribute food the way that we do. The reason we adhere to our system is that it takes us through even the most difficult of times. So now, as we always do, we will thrive under these conditions. Nobody will go hungry. Simply continue to do your part, and we will survive. God's children will live on for all of time. It should be of no concern to you. He bowed slightly. I will take no more time from the ceremony. That is all. I'm not sure how comforting that's going to be. I mean, people are generally whispering already. Rumors are flying around that a famine is coming. I mean, if what you say is true, and the famine has been survived already in the past, that would definitely be good. A good sign, anyway, especially if we are, in fact, the descendants of the people who emerged from the well. With that, the Ashan quickly retreated. I looked around. The crowd seemed restless. What had been for weeks rumors and neglected fears, it had now been confirmed by the Ashan. Yeah, really kind of depressing to have at the beginning of a party, Ashan. I don't know if I would have timed that quite the same way that you did. I had already known, of course. Kanari and Prava stood by my side, their faces anxious. The confirmation of it seemed news to them as well. However, without much time to process the statement, the drums began again. It's starting. Suddenly distracted by the solemn announcement, all eyes went to the main event, the procession. Forming even rows and ranks, Sunlight Maidens now filled the street. Every other girl held in her hands a ceremonial banner. The banner itself was an ornate piece of tapestry, a religious scene woven into each. I wasn't sure what it was meant to be exactly. They began to walk, in perfect unison. And at the same time, there was singing. A line of maidens towards the back was singing. The song was familiar. Accompanied by distant instruments, it seemed as though their voices carried along the hazy air, vanishing into the evening sky. It seemed to me much the same way embers burst to life from a brazier, glowing softly in the darkness for a fleeting moment before disappearing from sight. Our eyes followed their slow progress down the amberlit streets, transfixed. Perhaps it was in the way their movements were so effortless, in the way the brilliant red of their clothing spun and swirled in the warm light. But it demanded attention. It seemed to distract from the words of the Ashan, if for but a moment. At some point, the singing came to an end. They stopped short of a small structure. This was the altar, which had been constructed earlier and placed in the street. The procession stopped, and there was movement from within the ranks of the Sunlight Maidens. Coming to the front was a girl with her hood pulled low. Sachita? That's right. It was her turn to create the effigy. She was telling me about it that day by the tree. She had been so nervous. I watched her carefully. It pacified some simply to not see her face, but the typical looks of disdain and disgust. All across the crowd, they were there all the same. Even just knowing that beneath it all, the hooded girl was cursed. I won't look at them. I focused on Sachita. She came forward and folded her hands. Much like a high prayer, an offering of archimancy was to be made. In her soft yet commanding voice, she began to speak. God above, your children are gathered here, on our sacred island. We are gathered here to be in your presence, and to thank you for our many blessings. As she spoke, I couldn't help but feel strange at hearing a familiar prayer of thanks. Thanks for the food on our tables. Thanks for the idyllic lives we'd lead. After having the harsh truth of famine confirmed by the highest authority in the settlement. Sachita continued confidently nonetheless, and when the prayer was done, she raised her arms. Indigo light came from her palms and air began to shimmer. Over a period of what must have been at least 5 minutes, Sachita kept her arms fixed and concentrated on her archimancy. For even a relative novice in the craft such as myself, her sustained focus was nothing short of remarkable. Slowly, the effigy took shape. From a formless blob of metal to a recognizable figure, she held it suspended in the air. And just when it seemed there was no way she could hold it any longer, it was done. Left at her feet was a metal statue the size of a small child. It was beautiful. She had done it. There was a distant drumbeat, and 2 maidens came from her flanks to pick it up and carry it to the altar. Unassumingly retreating into the procession, all at once Sachita bowed and disappeared from sight. The singing resumed once more, and each of us in the crowd bowed to the altar. He was there with us then, I was told. On our lonely island under the stars, God watched us closely. We stood, eyes held shut, feeling his presence as the maidens' delicate voices filled the smoky air. I think that was supposed to be filled. But felled conjures an interesting image as well. I felt then that everyone here must be praying to him, praying for his guidance through the coming hardship. I was praying too. Gotta get going. Thank you for the stream and have a great day. Thank you so much for stopping by, Kixie. I hope you have a great day as well. Best of luck with your stream. I don't know if you're playing more Kabuto Park, but if you are, good luck with the bug hunting, the bug sumo fighting, and, of course, stay true to yourself, Kixie. I was praying too. I wished that he would provide me with guidance of my own. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day, Kixie. I'm putting my life on the line every night, wandering the well. I wish I knew more. I wish he would tell me what I need to know. Surely he wants me to do this. This must be a part of his plan. To make this famine go away. To ensure that nobody is cruel to Sachita ever again. God wants that, right? At last, the ceremony was coming to a close. The Sunlight Maidens retreated gracefully into the crowd, and the din of many voices conversing slowly returned. I found myself oddly shaken. It wasn't the idea of the famine itself, per se. It was the well. It seemed that even just thinking about the well was enough to scatter my thoughts. Are these lingering feelings from last night? Falling into the darkness? That sickening, weightless feeling. No. Stop. Now isn't the time for this. Tonight is the Sunlight Festival. This is supposed to be a fun night. The evening has only just begun. With the procession ended, the night's festivities began. The street, now filled with men and women, young and old, was lined with small booths. The booths were a tradition of the Sunlight Festival, handing out necklaces, rings, ceramics, and other small ceremonial items to anybody who passed by. Despite the looming concern of the famine, there were smiles and laughter all around. Even in the worst of times, it seemed. This was the night to forget your troubles and enjoy the sights and sounds. Kanari, Prava, and I stood on a street corner waiting for Sachita, watching people go by. Even in such a crowd, it was easy to pick out the groups of friends as they passed, laughing and joking amongst themselves. I even noticed my mom and dad, walking arm in arm around the corner of my eye. I thought for a moment about catching up, forcing a conversation, finally breaking the lingering silence between my father and I. But no. If he wants to keep ignoring me, that's his decision. See if I care. I think he cares. I think he probably cares a little bit. After about 10 minutes, Sachita finally emerged from the crowd and approached us, giving a small wave and smiling. Hey, Sachita. Hi, everyone. Oh, Sachi, you were incredible. Thank you. It's really a miracle the effigy came out all right. I was practicing right up until we got started. I'm so relieved. It was seriously impressive. What was that, a 5-minute cast? It's hard for a guy to not feel insecure seeing that, you know? You give me too much credit, Kana. I'd be pretty embarrassed if I had to share just how many hours I spent getting it right. There you go, being humble about it. None of us could have done that, Sachi. That's just true. Alright, yes. I'll let you inflate my ego, but only for tonight. It really was a beautiful procession this year. But I can't help but feel a little unsettled after what the Ashan told us, though. Seriously. It sounded absurd when Prava first told me. What? You told me about it? I don't remember that at all. Well, Kanari told me about the rumors, but my father pretty much confirmed it. I don't really understand, how something like this could even happen. There's always been more than enough to go around. They said it would be fine, right? Right. Yeah. You know what? We're wasting time dwelling on it. They already told us not to worry, and it's the festival, right? Let's enjoy ourselves tonight, and then worry about everything else tomorrow. Yeah, good point. That does sound more fun. True. So then, what was the plan again? Why don't we start by seeing the sights around here for a little while? There's an idea. Why don't we pair up and explore? Oh, Prava's getting a little bit sneaky, methinks. Khan and I can go this way, and you and Sachi go that way? Because we're going to meet up later and all. That sounds like a wonderful idea, Prava. We'll see you in a bit then, yeah? Ha, alright, sure. Yeah, I think Prava is pursuing two birds with one stone on this one, methinks. I think she's trying to set up me and Sachita, and then I think she's also trying to get some time alone with Kanari. See you two in a bit. Have fun. Hey. Alright. It's just we and Sachita now. I want to see what they're handing out this year. Oh, maybe they'll have necklaces? You know, I'm pretty sure you could easily make anything they're handing out yourself, Sachi. Maybe. But that's not very fun, is it? True. I know you're technically off duty, but understand that I'll be making use of you as my personal guard and escort tonight. Right. Don't laugh. This is serious business. Sure it is. Let's go see what they have then, shall we? Sachita is looking for a necklace. Surely one of the booths must have one. Let's check here. Sachita and I approached one of the booths lining the street. A small crowd gathered around it, their faces lit warmly by the glowing paper lanterns. paper lantern. Man, that's a fire hazard waiting to happen. It seemed to be giving out rings of some kind. Wooden, but colorful and detailed. Sachita stopped a few feet short, and I turned to look back at her. She smiled and waved me forward playfully. Right. Sachita probably shouldn't be the one interacting with people. Whoop, I think I have another thing. Hold on. All right. Now my delivery came. Everything should be fine now. No more interruptions. We're in the middle of a date, goddammit. Can't be delivering stuff to me now. All right. Waiting in line for a short moment, I made it to the front and asked the man for 2 rings. Rings in hand, I slowly turned and walked back to where Sachita stood, hand on hip, waiting for me. Here you are. Not quite what you were looking for, but they're nice, I think. Ah, these are beautiful. I wonder what the engraving depicts. You should be telling me that, Sachi. Oh, who remembers all those stories? I usually fall asleep. She laughed, and it was like daybreak. I couldn't help but admire her, standing there under the night sky, her hair lit softly from all sides by orange light. It seemed to glow like fire. My excited thoughts spilled over. What did I do to deserve this? To be here with her tonight. To get to laugh with her. I wanted so badly to say, Sachita, you are beautiful. But how could I say something like that right now? What's stopping me? Why can't I tell her how I feel? Why couldn't I do it tonight? It's not the time. I still have so much to do before I can be her husband. I can't. I can't do anything for her until I find the exit. Until I find the path from the well to a better world. I'm as good as worthless to her. The thoughts of the well returned. The horrifying feeling of weightlessness. The moment I thought I'd broken both my legs. The adrenaline of tearing through ancestor after ancestor. All of these thoughts came suddenly like rain on a cloudless day, and I felt dizzy. Aram? Aram? Are you okay? Fine. I'm fine. Just, staring into space. Hey, don't get tired on me now. There's more to see. And most importantly, I haven't found any necklaces yet. Sure, I'm coming. God above. I need to pull it together. What's happening to me tonight? Trauma, probably. Alright, it seems to be pointing me in this direction. No reason to deny it. Hey, what do you got for sale? Or not even sale. Sachita pointed at another booth, giddily. Shaking myself off, I smiled and approached, happy to oblige. Coming to the front, I found this one handing out small bowls. Just like the rings, the bowls were colorful, with intricate patterns covering the bottom. I eyed them carefully, wondering if Kanari had been involved in the design. Bowls in hand, I returned to where Sachita stood. Necklaces? Necklaces? Not quite. This one had bowls. I think Khan and Prava might have worked on these, though. Oh! They're so pretty. Those two are so talented. For sure. But if Khan were here, he'd probably start going on about how he thinks pottery doesn't take any skill and that his work is mind-numbing and so on. He's so funny. What do you mean? Kanari tries to act all disinterested and aloof. But just look at this bowl. Deep down, I think he cares more about his job than most people more about his job than people let on. I don't know. I trailed off, and we stood in comfortable silence for a long moment, enjoying the pleasant festival ambience. Sachita looked off past me, something seeming to catch her eye. I took the opportunity to steal another glance at her. Suddenly, it was nagging at me again. Talk of Kanari had reminded me of what he said. He told me not to wait too long. What does that even mean? I looked around the crowd for a moment. Nobody. Nobody wants to touch her. Nobody even wants to go near her. Nobody besides me, Mom, Dad, Prava, Khan, and maybe a handful of others. Nobody would take her from me first, right? I started to feel dizzy again. Closed my eyes for a moment and clenched my fists. My heart started to beat. The well. The dark. Speaking ancestors. Falling. Thinking an impact wouldn't kill me instantly. So instead I'd starve in the dark, all of my bones broken. I have to keep doing it. Every night. I wanted to throw up. I think he's starting to unravel a little bit. I mean, this place cannot be psychologically good for him. Especially, almost dying multiple times and, non-canonically actually dying multiple times thanks to my poor battle strategy. Aram, are you okay? You look so pale. Do you feel sick? No, really. I'm just tired. Let's go to the next booth. I'm sure that one will have necklaces. Okay, then. I need you alert, Mr. Journeyman. A lady can't be expected to walk around a festival unaccompanied, of course. Right. What was I thinking? Keep it together. Keep it together. Why are my thoughts affecting me so much? How will I ever achieve my goal if I can't even keep my composure on a night like this? Oh, and we're back moving around. We're going this way. I mean, it's a huge festival. How many other types of things could they sell besides necklaces? I let out a sharp breath, trying to clear my head. I waved Sachita forward, eager to seem lively. Once again, she stopped just short of the small crowd around the booth and let me walk up alone. At last, this was the necklace booth Sachita had been looking for. Taking two from the man, I turned and brought them back. It's your lucky day. Oh my god, it's perfect. Thank you, Aram. I didn't do much, but I'm happy to take the credit for it. Well, I'm having a good time tonight. I'd say you're doing plenty. Thanks. I'm having a good time with you too. That's sweet. Here, I'll give you a chance to flatter me even more. Sachita bent her head, draping the necklace around her neck. She fiddled with it for a short moment before finally letting it be, satisfied with the placement. Sachita looked at me expectantly, hands on her chest. Well, she asked, how does it look? The necklace glimmered in the warm lantern light. Again, wow, huge difference in visibility between OBS and my screen. I'm glad that that's going out on OBS. The necklace glimmered in the warm lantern light. Sachita held her hands overtop one another, pressing calmly into her neck. I opened my mouth to say something. How could I even begin to describe it? What series of words would cover it? How could I tell her that even just the sound of her voice was more beautiful than any piece of jewelry in the settlement? It's sort of funny. Even with how disoriented I feel tonight, I can think of so many words to describe even the littlest thing about her. Yet, after a long while, much too long, I only managed a simple sentence. It looks great, Sachi. That'll do, I think. Took you alarmingly long to think of it, though. Sorry. Clearly I didn't get enough sleep last night. It really does look good. It's okay. I was fishing for a compliment to begin with, so the moment is ruined anyway. Should we go up to meet with those two now? I got what I came for, after all. Yeah, let's. Festival necklace. That's an actual item. Hold on. What does that give me? Using combat items cost 0 stamina. Oh. Well, that is useful. Festival necklace. Alright, we might equip that generally. That's a pretty good boost. And we need to meet up with Kanari and Prava. That's going to be this way. I can't, like, speak to you? No. I can't help but feel that Aram is really doing himself a disservice by keeping this a secret from his close friends. I feel like a lot of them would be able to contribute, especially Sachita. Sachita can do incredibly advanced archimancy. Like, that's gotta be useful. At least when exploring the well. Maybe she doesn't do, like, a combat thing, but she could, like, make me weapons or something? I don't know. I feel like that's just a really useful ability to have on hand. We noticed Kanari and Prava standing at the edge of what appeared to be a ring of people. They were gathering around something. Peering through the line of onlookers, I saw men and women spinning around each other to the rhythm of a drum beat. Were they dancing? Yeah, that's what dancing is, Aram. There you two are. How's it going? Seen anything fun? Not really. Just a whole lot of booths. So, same as last year. Don't listen to him. It was plenty fun. People are enjoying the bowls we helped make. Don't you feel even a little bit accomplished? Just a little. Well, Aram and I really liked them. Yeah. They turned out awesome. See? That's what I've been telling you, Khan. Now come on. Let's jump in. Jump into what? The dance. It started a few minutes ago. Oh, I always forget about this. You and Sachi should do it too, Aram. Oh, maybe. You three have fun. There's no way I'm getting in there. Oh, come on. It's not a big deal. And it's a partner dance, obviously. I can't go alone. Aram loves that sort of thing, right? Take turns with him. I wouldn't say... Khan, seriously. Will you just try it this year? Please? Prava, my leg. There's no way I could. It's okay, I don't mind. I'll lead and... I said no, okay? Let Aram and Sachi do it. We'll watch. Okay, fine. You two go on then. Well, Aram, do you want to dance? I will, if you want to. Even despite the state of my head, a chance to dance with Sachita was simply too great an offer to pass up. Yeah, okay, so Prava's really trying. She's really trying to, like, reach out to Kanari, get him involved, and she really wants to dance with him. But Kanari is a bit too self-conscious for that right now. Unfortunately. I think he would have a good time if he did it, but he is a bit too self-conscious about his injury. I responded without a moment's hesitation. Of course. Am I going to have to do QuickTime events for this? This feels like a place where they would drop in QuickTime events. Securing her hood, Sachi led me to the edge of the ring. Pairs of men and women danced in a circle to the rhythm of the drum. On all sides, spectators clapped to keep time, smiling and cheering. There were a few open positions. I looked at Sachita, decidedly unsure how to begin. Wait. I don't even know the dance. She looked back at me, smiling. And without a word, she took my hand and pulled me forward. We both knew touching was forbidden, of course, but my mother was nowhere to be seen, so it seemed okay. Fortunately, Sachita appeared to know the dance well. Taking the lead, she deftly stepped into the sequence of dancers. She pulled me along, our hands knitted together, spinning back and forth in a dizzying display. I was certain I looked very ridiculous. My feet came down hard and clumsily. I was self-conscious about the many awkward stares we received, both for the impropriety of touching a Sunlight Maiden, and the clear suspicion of who exactly the hooded girl was. But all the same, we danced under the stars. Wow, I really can't see any of that on my screen. That's insane. What is going on? Is that supposed to be like that? I don't know. We smiled and laughed, and she held my hands tightly. Do I deserve this right now? Do I really get to enjoy this? With everything I know? Everything I still have to do? I'm just pretending that everything is as it should be. I think he's spiraling a little bit. Oh boy, that's... yeah. Words caught in my throat. I felt my heart stop. I blinked hard. Ah, I see now. I see now why I feel so strange tonight. It's because this burden is following me. It'll be haunting me until I'm finished. It'll be in my head every day and every night. So, I closed my eyes and kept dancing. All right. Wow, they really spruced up the tree, huh? And then he literally bet me I couldn't do it. So naturally, I snuck into his place that same day and took them. Seriously? That's so funny. No. That's not how it happened. Oh, right. Aram was my lookout. Hold on, I didn't ask to be credited. It was entirely your idea. Oh, don't be so humble. It was a collaborative effort to make Ranbir look like an idiot. I can't believe you're actually bragging about stealing. And not getting caught. I don't think it'll be too long. You've told that story to 1,000 people, including Ranbir. I thought it was funny. Sachi, can we please change the subject? What for? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the major developments in your best friend's life? Oh, right. There's really not much more to tell than what you've already heard. Oh, come on, dude. Just tell him. we should still celebrate it a little. Journeyman is a big deal. I thought it would be. It's really just a few odd jobs here and there and a whole lot of sitting around. Well, we're proud of you. And, sorry for spreading those rumors about you, dying and all. I heard it from a few people as well. Clearly it was a major overreaction. It's really okay. It was kind of funny. Khan, you too. Apologize and say something nice. What? We've already talked about it plenty. I'm sure Aram's sick of it by now, right? Yeah. It's alright, Prava. In any case, let's just leave... That just leaves Khan left to advance, right? Assuming we don't get another surprise like Aram, should be next season. Uh-huh. Who really cares? Aram was just being modest before. He actually gets a whole new job. For me, things aren't going to change too much. That's not true at all. For one, you'll get a concentration that... Ah, yes, how exciting. I'll get to pick between glaze and enamel. Lucky me. Well, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound very exciting. And, you don't get to pick. You're helping my point here, Prav. For what it's worth, I'm very jealous of you two. I think I might have the most boring obligation there is. Huh? You make a good point there, Sachi. Whatever. I'm excited for you. How about that? I suppose it could be worse. I could be advancing to Journeyman as a farmer this season. When there's nothing to pick or grow. Thanks for reminding me. It's terrible that they picked tonight of all nights to tell us about the food shortage. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Really, really downer mood. Speaking of, the music. It's following suit. I was thinking about the future. Do you guys think anything's going to change? Day to day? Well, I can't say for certain. But I was hearing from some of the other guys that they think the food distribution is going to get a little more radical. Radical? How do you mean? Well, ordinarily, the couriers bring extra food to the most important obligations, right? Oh, right, like farming and wound-bearing. Yeah, exactly. So, in a scenario where there's less food across the board, they're going to want to make sure that those same obligations get the majority, even if the others get their rations cut. So then, who's going to get their rations cut the most? Who knows? But I can't imagine pottery being high on that list, Prav. Aram and Sachi, you two might be okay. I watched as Kanari's words slowly washed over the group. Each of their expressions seemed to hold a knot of worry, certainly imagining the many frightening unknowns of the future. I'm afraid as well, perhaps for many different reasons. But I realized tonight that it doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how these things affect me. It doesn't matter how close I come to dying every night. For the sake of everybody on this island, for my friends, for my family, for Sachita, I'll keep going. I'll delve further downward, as far down as the well goes if that's what it takes. And all the while, I'll put on a brave face. I don't know. For some reason, I'm not worried. Wish I could say the same. And in any case, Prava was right. Tonight isn't the night to worry about things like that. Let's just leave all that until tomorrow. You're right. By next year's festival, I'm sure we won't even remember having this conversation. That's probably true. I'll stop being a bummer. That's a really nice place to hang out. I'm surprised we're the only ones here. Like, that's a really nice spot. Also, doesn't the tree have, like, cultural significance? I feel like that'd be a big sight during the festival. And so, as the night stretched on into its small hours, the four of us laughed, told stories, and enjoyed one another's company. Discussions of the famine and of our worries faded away. At some point, I recall getting the feeling that I would remember that night. I would look back on it, desperately, remembering the warmth of the lantern light and the company of my friends. The memory of my night spent with Sachita dancing under the moon. I knew even then that it was precious. Precious like nothing else had ever been in my years on the island. The next morning, Kanari and I walked home through the now deserted streets, buzzing with the energy of a night well spent. I think I'll wish I could do it all over again. Just tonight. One more time. Well, that's, ominous foreshadowing, methinks. I imagine that things are going to get worse before they get better. Oh, what do we have here? Chapter 2? Oh, we're only on Chapter 2, chat. A Memory of Wounds. Ugh. Ugh. I got a bad feeling about this one. Under the midday sun, a line of figures stood restlessly outside the kiln. They held tightly in their arms, each an empty bowl. I walked along the file slowly, taking meticulous steps. I was holding my weapon, not raised but firmly visible at my side. Across the line, Tala walked the opposite way, his own weapon held similarly. Tala and myself, sentries, were playing an odd role that day. It wasn't our usual assignment. It hadn't been for some time. At the front of the solemn procession was a vegetable cart, stacked with heavy ceramic jars of steaming food. As each potter reached the front, they stood with their bowl outstretched, waiting nervously as if expecting judgment of some kind. To each, a portion of food was served by ladle, measured carefully by several workers manning the cart. 2 weeks ago, it had been a full scoop. Last week, half. This week, a fourth. As the amount fell, the need for such a charade, a line of hungry people, wound bearers to keep everyone in their place, the need for such a desperate sight transformed from suggestion to cruel necessity. I scanned the line for familiar faces. Somewhere towards the middle, Prava and Kanari stood waiting. Kanari held his bowl at his side, casually. He seemed engaged in conversation with Prava. Noticing me pass, he tapped her on the shoulder and pointed. Prava turned her head, giving me a nervous smile. Kanari gave me a grin of his own, shaking his head as if unable to believe my current position. I wished I found it as amusing as he did. I thought about waving or approaching, making it seem somehow that things were normal. But no, it didn't feel right. So instead, I simply smiled back, turning and resuming my patrol under the sun's heat. This is exactly what we were worried about. Famine, desperation, we were probably going to have to be seen at least as a symbol of law enforcement trying to enforce the rationing, which is deeply unfortunate. That's going to breed resentment very quickly. It had only taken a few weeks. In so little time, famine had completely overwhelmed the settlement. Like the sudden rain of a summer storm, it felt as though the hunger began almost without warning. Rations were cut overnight. Cut such that each obligation's meals needed to be given in the presence of wound bearers. Tala and I, through some chance, were both assigned to the kiln. That seemed cruel, in a way, for me to be placed there, out of all the possibilities. I found myself wondering if my father had something to do with it. I wondered, but didn't know. Would father have deliberately assigned us to our friend's ration line? Why? Why would he do that? Tala was waiting outside for me to leave. That was strange, I remember thinking. It was just after the midday meal, and the three of us stood inside the kiln's cluttered storage room. It was usually empty around that time. God above. I think that servant girl hates me or something. Kanari leaned casually against the wall as he complained, playing with the cane in his offhand. I get less than everyone else, I swear. She sees my cane and thinks, well, this guy clearly doesn't need the energy. What's he gonna do, run? I laughed a little, but Prava seemed uneasy. Does she really give you less? She asked. I could talk to them about... Nari raised his hand and waved her into silence, sighing. No, not really, he replied, deflated. Just ignore me today. I don't have anything nice to say. I looked over my shoulder to the main room and back again. What were you two painting earlier? I asked, looking at Prava. It looked beautiful. Prava clasped her hands together, smiling and seeming relieved at the chance to change topics. Oh, yes. We're painting a vase for the temple. Khan's side of it looks so good. You should show Aram. Kanari smiled tiredly, nodding. She's my one and only fan. He laughed. I won't lie, Prav. My heart's not in this one. It's hard to give it my all when I'm so damn hungry. I felt a pang of guilt whenever I was reminded of how poor the kiln's ration had become. My own had only been reduced slightly. It was an awkward topic. Prava picked up her notebook off a nearby shelf, holding it tightly to her chest. Han, why didn't you say anything? She said emphatically. I'll give you my portion tomorrow. I began to nod in agreement, but Kanari shook his head. What? Prav, no way. I don't need yours, Kanari said dismissively. No, really, it's okay, Prava replied after a moment. I'm not that hungry around midday. Kanari shook his head again. I'm fine. It was a joke, he said. I have plenty. Prava shifted uneasily. I'm serious, she began. You can have mine, so just... Prava, Kanari interrupted. No. I already told you once, yeah? Prava looked away and nodded slowly. We quickly spoke of other things. So I'm wondering if Kanari is just like totally oblivious to Prava's feelings. He might very well be. And might not understand why she's trying to be so charitable to him. It's just like I tried to tell Tala, isn't it? Things have gone exactly as the inscription said they would. What I was afraid of most is hunger. This is only the beginning. This wound is now only beginning to sting. Those cold words engraved in stone. I recalled them so clearly it made me sick. Thousands. Dead. It meant only one thing for me. My objective in the well hadn't changed. But my time frame had. I needed something. Something in hand. A lead. I'll be doubling my efforts from now on. I'll find a better world. I'll save everyone. I will. So I'm wondering, like, how much further do we have to go through the well? Tala and I knelt before the high wound bearers. My father stood by the doorway. I'd grown used to his silent indifference by now. In summary, there were no disturbances of the rationing at the kiln today, said Tala, finishing our report. The high wound bearer, seated across the short wooden table from us, nodded, running his hands through his beard pensively. We were sat in the armory's innermost chamber, often used as a meeting place for confidential affairs. Another wound bearer came from the side and whispered something into his ear, pulling his attention away. Their attempt to hide their discussion from Tala and myself was equal parts amusing and infuriating. They think I don't already know what's been happening? The whispers around the armory were impossible to escape. An argument at the loom's ration line broke out into a fight, one peacekeeper had whispered. I heard they toppled the vegetable cart at the brickworks, said another. Everyone knew. Things were quickly getting worse. Tala and I were dismissed. So if it's been a couple weeks, then I would have been going, or Aram would have been going down into the well periodically. Surely, even still, so I wonder if he's made any progress. Tala went ahead. Just as I was making my way out of the armory, my father called out. I stopped, feeling myself tense up. Hi, Dad. What do you have to say? Aram, stay for a moment. Okay. What is it? Well, I'd like to speak with you, Aram. Speak? I realize that in these past weeks, we've not since that day. Your first day as Sentry. With all that's been happened since, we've not had the opportunity to speak properly about many things. Alright, are we finally having a discussion about this? Why could he have been kept silent for so long? I wasn't sure how to respond. Speaking properly about what happened that day, about my position as Sentry. We're finally going to have this conversation. I felt a pang of anger. Even since the night of the festival, my father has been avoiding me altogether. Nothing, barely even eye contact. Why now? Fine then. Let's talk. How are you doing, Aram? How have you found your duties as a Sentry? How have I... You can't be... You're asking me this now? I've been a Sentry for weeks already. Yes, but why? Why didn't you ask me how I felt back then? The night an ancestor tore two men limb from limb in front of my eyes. Aram, I needed you that day. I went before the Ashan. I'm your son, and you... Aram, you taught me for 12 years. You wouldn't see me. You wouldn't speak to me. Aram, listen to me. I'd been asking the Ashan for years to... You can't be... I asked them to place you in the Temple Guard. Yes, you've made that clear. They're punishing me. I know it. What? You must understand that I didn't want this for you. You have to face the well. I'm sorry, Aram. Is that really all you have to say? Yes, Father. It's not the Temple Guard, but the Ashan chose my concentration. For me. I earned it. And you're not even proud. Well, I mean, he's very concerned about you, Aram. It's a dangerous mission. I mean, he doesn't know that you're somehow able to take on hordes of ancestors unlike anyone in your tribe before you. My father was stunned into silence. As the words came out, I expected that I'd immediately regret them. But I didn't. This conversation, which had been far too long coming, the resentment I'd held had been brewing all the while, and I felt it rise in my throat like a bile. I needed to say it all. Everything. You would have been perfectly content to bribe the Ashan, I said, seething. To use your favor with them to cheat the system and give me a... Hello. Motorbikes outside. And give me a comfortable job as a temple guard. I shook my head. But now I see. I understand why. It's because you have no faith in me. None at all. Well, that's probably wildly inaccurate. Aram, I think your father is just concerned for your safety. Hello, Sivari. Hello, hello. Last seen doing art. Oh, how was the art? Tell me, you were, what were you working on? You were working on this game, weren't you? I see you. I see through your charade. I see through your disguise. How are you doing today, Sivari? I hope the day is treating you well. Yeah, we'll call this plausible deniability, right? Yeah. Sure, you didn't work on this. Wink. I said wink, and I also winked in real life, at my desk. So just know, I'm getting fully involved into this performance. We're also, maybe having a very hurtful conversation with our father in-game, so buckle up. You never did. And I spent all those years thinking I was making you proud. I'm doing good, just doing some chores now, just chilling. Oh, did some chores now, just chilling. Well, congratulations on completing the chores. Always a good feeling. I probably have some chores to complete as well. I'm moving soon, so I got to start packing. That's partially what some of the interruptions have been today. I don't have any boxes to pack stuff in. Yay, pain. Oh, for the scene, right. Yeah, I don't have any boxes to pack stuff in, and so I had to have some boxes delivered to my doorstep so that I can begin packing. Hopefully it won't be too bad, since a majority of my stuff is still compressed into my room from when I needed to pull everything for my apartment treatment. So moving goes well. Hopefully it goes well. We're getting like a truck and some dudes this time to help us, so that we're not just all moving all the heavy stuff ourselves. Also, we have an ad coming in 3 minutes, everybody. Brace yourselves for that. So we're going to have people helping us with the move. We're also going to have more people working just like on the day of. So like more family members are coming in to help me move this time, I think. I need to go back and check that. And also it's a much shorter move this time. It's just across town rather than moving between towns. When I moved, I raided the Walmart shipping aisle so many times. Yeah, I've got like, I don't know. I've just got like a bunch of like plastic bins and cardboard boxes from Home Depot. So hopefully that's all going to go fine this time. The squad. Yes, we have recruited the squad. I spent all those years thinking that I was making you proud. But you never believed that I really had what it took. My father's face was pale. He shifted uneasily, the weight of my words seeming to cut him to the bone. He opened his mouth, then closed it again. The silence was agonizing. I don't know if you can handle it or not, Aram, he said finally. His voice was thin. I mean, to his credit, I am playing on story mode, so I can't handle it without story mode. Thin, quiet, and without any of his typical resolve. So many things. So many things have come true. So many things that kept me awake at night, terrified that they might come to pass. So many of these terrible things have come true, Aram. His voice nearly sounded choked. What am I supposed to think? What was I supposed to do? I looked at the man standing across from me, and I tried to picture my father. I tried to picture him, my role model, the man I had strived to be my entire life. To have even an ounce of his skill, the dependence I had on him, the desperate need for his approval. The memory of that need suddenly made me feel utterly childish. I'm doing everything you ever asked of me, I said, barely managing to keep my voice in check. I'm playing my part like you wanted. Why don't you play yours as well? It was then that I felt the peering eyes of the other wound bearers watching me in the loud display. I felt ashamed for having made such a commotion and turned to leave. That day at the storehouse, with Sachita, that woman treated her like dirt, like she should be dead, and you didn't stand up for her at all. Well, okay. I have a feeling this is going to be a rather biting remark after the ad, so we'll wait for that to finish. Well, I mean, this has all kind of been building up for weeks now. A lot of resentment, a lot of disappointment. I don't think it's actually because Father doesn't believe we can do it. I have a suspicion that our father may have seen the inscription inside of the well at some point. Because he's talking about, like, things that he wished or hoped wouldn't come true or things like that, things that he was afraid of. So I'm wondering if he has kind of gone through the same journey that we are going through right now. You're a coward. I see that now. Goodbye, Father. That's gonna leave a mark. Goodbye. Very, very impolite on our part. And likely to cause some trouble as well. Report for sentry duty at the garden when you're ready. Okay, am I doing... Oh, yeah, no, we can definitely see a difference. There's fewer people milling about, and there's more wound bearers. Leave me be. Can we enter this? The hospice is... And sirens going by. Oh, I would still need to find, like, a petrified bone somewhere. I don't know where I'd do that. Well. I keep saying well and thinking, like, haha, pun. Let me go to the armory and save, actually. The armory is this way, right? Yes, the armory is here. We shall save. I don't have enough to level up. Alright, we'll save there. And that will be where we end for today. Okay, so actually, not very much going on in the well for this stream. We started off with a quite nasty tumble down into the depths that almost killed us. And we were having a hard time getting out, but that was because I had not noticed that story mode was turned off again somehow. So I'm going to have to be more diligent about checking that when I come back next time. However, we did have a nice night with Sachita and our friends at the festival. And who's winning? Famine. Famine is winning, Dids. Hello. You're just in time for the raid. Famine has struck the town, and things are not going well. And we are getting a bit testy with the people around us, including our father. So, common famine W, yes, unfortunately. A famine W is an L for most anybody else. So let's see who we can raid off to today. Who is live? Who is live? Actually, the only person who's live right now is Kixie, which is a good choice for us. We do like raiding Kixie, a common friend of the stream. She usually comes in and hangs out for a little while, so let's go raid her. I'm going to get the raid messages out. Hello? There we go. All right, go and pick whatever raid message you want. I'm going to choose the happy one today because, Lord knows, Aram needs some happiness. All right. Raid. Follow me. Pixie. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you all so much for joining me for another episode of A Song of Sunlight. This one was a little bit rough. We encountered some really tough enemies at the beginning, but we're going to be continuing more next week. Same time, same place, right here on the DJ Atomica at 1 p.m. EST Saturday. I hope to see you all there. If not, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your week, and as always, stay true to yourselves, everyone.